let's go into some tools that can help us do this. So one of the tools I want to give today is called the raft. The raft concept has to do with, what the stories where the ship capsized and then they build a raft and manage to swim into an island. The principle is that if you watch one of those films, the raft that takes them to the island is not the raft they use when they go out. You literally have to build a new one. You got to discard the old raft and pick a new raft. If you remember that, then you will remember that what got you here or where you are now, you will need a different raft to go forward. So what got you into that marriage, you may need to build a new raft to sustain that marriage. What got you into that leadership position is great. You may need to build a new raft to take you forward. What got you those friendships, those things you did, got you there? What can now get you forward? If the raft is expired, you got to build a new raft. Stop using old raft for new adventures. It ain't gonna work. You gotta build new rafts. All right. You might have used it for 50 years. Yeah, but it's expired. Gotta build a new raft. Okay. I'm having fun here. So let's look at raft. What does raft stand for? Raft stands for results, actions, feelings, and the story. Okay. And the story. So that's your raft, R-A-F-T. What we say is look for something you don't like the current result. It may be in a relationship, it may be at work, it may be with a direct report, it may be with a boss, it may be with a sibling. Look for a result you don't like the result and deconstruct that result. Say, what are my actions that led to this result? Both action and then inactions. Okay. Then go a step further. What are the feelings? You see, I use the word feelings, not emotions. Feelings that are associated with this action. In other words, how am I thinking about it that is leading to these feelings? So feelings and thoughts. Thoughts will be better if you think about the image that you create in your mind. That will help you with your thoughts. When you think, we all think in pictures. Okay, sometimes we ask somebody, well, how are you feeling? And start saying, well, I think. Many people don't know how to separate their thoughts from their feelings. But the easiest way to do it is to ask yourself, what image comes to my mind when I'm thinking? So that image will tell you about your thoughts. And your feeling has to do with physical sensations, high energy, low level, uncomfort, discomfort, pleasant, unpleasant, or if you can name it, great, name the emotion. All right. But beneath all this is the story you're telling yourself. The story I'm telling myself that when I looked at the situation, I told myself that at the core is the story. And when you want to build a new result, you got to go to the story and change the story. This is so critical for me. People are trying to change the result without changing the story. They're trying to start doing exercises. They say, I feel exercises is tiring. And they just want to go and start doing exercises again. No, you're changing it at the top. Go to the story. Go change the story at the bottom. Then you can walk it back upwards. So you see what I did there? If you want to get a new result, go and then build a new story. So the anchor is start from the bottom, build a new story, then let the story lead to new thoughts, thoughts to new feelings, feelings to new actions, and then actions back to new results. So it's like a U shape. Okay, you begin with result A, you break it down to the story, turn it to a new story, and then you break it up to a new result. That is a practical tool that can change any situation, whether it's historic, present, or future-based. You can build new rafts. So let's give a practical example. Practical example is the wheelchair. I love to use around the wheelchair because of the story it tells. So sometimes people tell you what's their current result. The current result is I have an impossible boss or impossible partner, or I don't have time. You need to look at something impossible. Okay. Something impossible. If you take that impossible situation and drill down, in this case, you'll see people say something like, I'm unable to do this because I have a difficult this, I can't do this. It's like, because of this, I can't do this. Or because of this, I am doing this. Literally, the result is based on an action or an inaction. But if you go down, you will see the feeling. I feel frustrated that this is happening, or I can't do this because I have the boss. You see the layers up. I feel frustrated because I can't do this because I have this kind of, if you just see my schedule, that's why I can't do this. And I really feel this way. But when you go on, you may see what they are thinking. You're thinking that management should do something about it. My boyfriend should do this about it. This shouldn't happen. I'm thinking that this is not unfair. What are they thinking? Document the thoughts. And then if you drill further down, you will see the belief. I believe that looking at all this, I've come to the conclusion that I am confined like to a wheelchair. I feel immobilized. It's like you're stuck. And many people do feel stuck in a relationship, in situations. And that's why we use the wheelchair metaphor. But what if, based on what we've done today, we can build a new raft and we can challenge that and say, what's a new story I can tell myself at the core? A new story is I am liberated by this wheelchair. This wheelchair, I'm not looking for how to get out of the wheelchair. This wheelchair, at least I'm not stuck by the bed. This wheelchair, at least I can roll the wheels on myself and move somewhere. There's something I can do even with this wheelchair without waiting for whether I'm going to get up and have my legs together. While I'm in this wheelchair, what liberation do I have? You see, you're rewriting the story from confinement to liberation. And if you build on that, you can then say, okay, based on that, I think this may be an opportunity I think I'm going to be excited at the prospect of, and based on that, based on using only what is within my control, my locus of control, I can, and this can now lead me that this impossible boss or partner situation may actually present me with a gift to, and you got to feel that for yourself. So I'm going to invite you to take a picture of this, because this is the full raft. If I had time with you, I would have said, take that situation, decouple it, and then recouple it. And sometimes this is why you may need coaching, for someone to coach and walk down with you to on-call everyone to get to that lower point and then build up again and go up again. And if you do feel stuck at that belief, maybe someone can help you to restructure it or reframe it. Sometimes these are called cognitive behavioral therapy, but sometimes it's also just emotional motivational matrix. But we say if nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay, if nothing changes at the root, nothing changes. So let's remember that, and that will be end of part 1, and I'll go quickly to part 2.